Hey, this is the coach, and you're listening to an interview from a live broadcast of the Coach and Cole Show on Blog Talk Radio. You can find us on demand on iTunes and on TuneIn. All right, so Cole, today we're going to start the show talking a little hockey. And not NHL hockey, not even college hockey. We're talking Minnesota high school hockey. And for those of you who know, this is the biggest high school hockey tournament in the country. Hundreds of thousands of people are watching from home. Tens of thousands are in attendance. I know at that state tournament this year, they broke the attendance records at the XL Energy Center in St. Paul, Minnesota. And this year in the Class A state championship game, we might have seen the greatest game ever played in high school hockey. And today, Cole, our guest played in that game. And he's our Blog Talk Radio guest of the week, Jesse Jacques. Jesse, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you.
Absolutely. How's it going today on this early Saturday morning?
Yeah, it's going pretty good.
Good. Well, let's get right into this thing, Jesse. And we're on an international platform here on Blog Talk Radio. We've got listeners in over 5 countries now. And so some of our listeners may not be familiar with the Minnesota State Tournament. And if they aren't familiar with that, then they're not familiar with Hermantown, and they're probably not familiar with yourself. But Jesse, please describe to us what it's like to play in front of tens of thousands of screaming fans packing the XL Energy Center down there in St. Paul at the state tournament.
Well, I mean, it's a different atmosphere than what normal high school hockey players are used to. It's on a much bigger stage, so when you have all those people screaming, it kind of gets you going. It gets you a little nervous at first, but once you get past that, it's a blast, and you couldn't ask for like much more because you have so many fans out there.
Right. And you know, you guys travel pretty well. You're not from a huge town, considering, I mean, you're from a big area, but Hermantown is basically like a suburb of Duluth, Minnesota. Many are familiar with that. And so you guys travel pretty well. And what's it like to know that you're representing your city or your town, and you've got the entire town behind you? What's that like?
Well, I mean, it's great because growing up, Hermantown has always been a great community. Everyone always has each other's backs, and it's kind of good that we're a suburb of Duluth, because then it just makes everyone just like a close-knit community, you know, just like a suburb. And I mean, Hermantown's just a great town.
Right, exactly. And your school, Hermantown High School, and your head coach, Bruce Plant, there has really got themselves established just as close to a dynasty as you can get. I mean, 7 straight championship appearances, 8 of 10 appearances in the last 10 years, and you've won 3 titles there. What's it like to be a part of that program, Jesse?
I mean, to be a part of this program, it's a great feeling, because our head coach, Bruce Plant, he's stayed in Hermantown through thick and thin, and he's built like a dynasty, you know, a great team. And us being kids, you know, like my age group growing up, like we always wanted to play high school, and nothing's given. You just got to work hard, and we always push each other in practice to make each other better. And that's how I guess Hermantown's really gotten good, because everyone just wanted to be the best.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what you have to strive for. And speaking of the best, that's what you guys are this year. So let's talk about this year, Jesse, and let's talk about this year's state championship game. But last year, you guys kind of ran through the competition. You know, you won every game by more than 5 goals. But this year, you guys trailed in some games, and in particular, the state championship game, you were down 3-1. What was your mindset like at that point? You guys are down 3-1, staring at the scoreboard. What were you guys thinking then?
You know, we weren't exactly used to being down all year. We were usually the team ahead, but our mindset was pretty much so. In the game before, we came back 3 goals, so we thought, why can't we do it again? So we all just got together, you know, screamed at each other, got each other going, you know, amp each other up, and we just came out in battle because we knew we were the better team, but we just had to show it on the scoreboard. So we came out, got a couple more goals, brought into overtime, and the rest is history.
Yeah, that's right. You guys end up tying it up at 3, and you went into not 1 overtime, but 2 overtimes. And in that second overtime, your teammate Tyler Watkins scores. The celebration starts. You guys think you're the state champs, but then, you know, wait a minute. It's not a goal. It's goalie interference. So what's going through your mind at that point when they call the goal back? The game's not over. You thought it was. Did you guys think at any point that maybe this game wasn't going to go your way?
Well, it sucked that it ended that they actually didn't make us the champions, because we were all just super tired, the second overtime, and our bodies couldn't take so much more. But I mean, it was absolutely crazy, because we knew that we had to go back and try to do it again, and that seemed super hard, but we had to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys did it, and you won your second straight Minnesota State title. And some are saying, Jesse, that this is the greatest hockey game in Minnesota State history. Was it I don't want you to go on the record as saying that, but was it the greatest game that you were ever a part of?
Oh, for sure. It's got to be up there, because it's on the biggest stage. You're playing in the state championship game, and to go into double overtime and have a little mini comeback in the third period, I think it's pretty special. So it's got to be up there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It was pretty remarkable, to be honest with you. We're here with Jesse Jacques, Hermantown High School, here on Blog Talk Radio, Coach and Cole Show. You made the all tournament team again this year. 6 goals, 6 assists, and 12 points in your state tournament career. You went on to play in the local All-Star game here in Duluth, Minnesota. You earned MVP honors, and I think I just learned before the show here that your slap shot was second all time, right? And your cousin has the record for the slap shot in that contest. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, my cousin John, he got a 97, and I got kind of close. I got a 95.
So 95-mile-an-hour slap shot, the second fastest slap shot of all time in that contest. So that's pretty cool. So it runs in the family. And Jesse, your teammate Ryan Sandelin has committed to Minnesota State Mankato. So Jesse, I gotta ask you. Now you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but I gotta ask you. Everyone wants to know what uniform. What uniform are you going to be wearing next year?
Oh, well, next year I'm going to be playing in hopefully the United States Hockey League, the USHL. And I honestly don't know, because we have a draft coming up, so it could go either way. So I don't know yet.
All right. So you're not exactly sure. I was trying to get it out of him there, Cole, because everybody wants to know where he's going to be playing college hockey, if he's going to be playing. So I tried to squeak it out of him.
You never know. I don't know yet. We'll see.
Cole, you got a few questions for him before we send him down the road here?
Yeah, got a couple of them. All right, Jesse, when you're playing out there on the ice, do you ever, get scared that maybe the ice will melt while you guys are playing?
Absolutely not. No.
You can't be thinking that while you're playing, because that's too much going on. Have you ever you ever watch Mighty Ducks?
Yeah, that was one of my favorite movies as a kid. I loved it.
You ever use the knuckle puck move?
When I was on the outdoor rinks back in the day, I would, but it honestly really doesn't work if you try it.
Huh. Hey, you heard it here first. Those of you who didn't know that, the knuckle puck doesn't work. It doesn't work.
I would exclusively just use the knuckle puck. I feel like you score every time with that. Guess not.
You never know.
You never know. That's how they make it look on TV. 48 goals, 74 assists, 122 points in your high school career. So wherever you choose to play your college hockey, you're going to do big things. We're going to be watching, Jesse, and thank you for joining us today.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Jesse Jacques, Hermantown High School. Thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate that. And what a game that was, Cole. I mean, I know you're not up here in the area of where you could see that. It's not a national broadcast, and I'm sure just the magnitude of this tournament. I'm sure in the future they're going to start doing an internet live stream of this thing, because it's so big. And if you're a hockey fan, if you're a college hockey fan, an NHL hockey fan, and you're watching that, you'd think off the top of your head that, God, I don't really want to watch that high school stuff. I mean, that's going to be, slower and it's going to be tough to watch. That's not the case. I mean, it's really not. It is some of the most entertaining stuff you can see. The kids out there really, really want to win. They're playing for their school. They're playing for their community. And these entire towns, entire communities are behind these kids. They travel to the game. And then you've got, that metro area there of St. Paul, Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota, the Twin Cities area. And they just pack that stadium, that arena. And it's like, wow, this is a high school game.